Peace and greetings, peace and greetings, peace and greetings. Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Empress Etoy here, and thank you so kindly for tuning in to Don't Think Too Hard with Etoy. It's an experience. And today we have another heavy hit episode. I'm not sure if you caught last week. Last week was 2 hours, and it was only supposed to go an hour and a half. That's because we was talking about Project 25. This week we're going to be talking about grief, loss, pain, and trauma with our special guest, Lady P. I met this phenomenal woman uh, doing showcases in Harlem and in the Bronx, and her energy is just so beautiful. And she's gonna come on and she's gonna tell her story. And I humbly ask for everyone to that's going to be tuning in to just give her some love and some support and send her some healing energy at this time. I also called my sacred sisters in to help me and hold space with this conversation. I want to say thank you to them because I called them at the last minute and they showed up and they showing out. But you know how we do. Before we start, we have to say a prayer. Mefedafun Obatala, Mefedafun to the Most High, Mefedafun to my Ori, Mefedafun to my Egun, to my ancestors, Mefedafun to my protectors and my guides. Please protect this podcast. Please protect the people that are listening and watching this podcast. Please protect our guests that's on this podcast. The one that's going to be telling their story and the one that's going to be helping and holding space, giving that supportive healing energy. Please give us the energy that we need and the know-how to hold space for our sister Lady P. We are here for her today. Close the doors for bad and open the doors for good. And I give thanks. Ashe, y'all. All right, I'm not gonna hold it up too much long. I'm just gonna start introducing everyone because we have three guests in backstage right now. We have two more coming in later on this evening. Let's hold space for them. We hope that you get here safe and you are divinely guided. Give thanks. So before I introduce the lady of the hour, I'm going to introduce my sacred sisters that's going to help me with this conversation. You all remember her, sacred woman practitioner Providencia from Atlanta. She was on a couple of weeks ago and she was telling her story. She was phenomenal, and I have gotten so many texts and calls about that episode, and it was such a beautiful episode with her telling her testimony. So let's welcome to the stage, sacred woman practitioner Providencia.
Peace, peace. I'm so happy to be here
Greetings.
and hold space.
Thank you, sister, for coming back 2 weeks,
Yes.
3 weeks later. I want to say thank you. I asked you, you just said yes. I'll be there the whole space. And I just want to say thank you for showing up for our sister, Lady P, and thank you for assisting me in this movement. I greatly appreciate you.
Always. I appreciate you. So happy to be here.
Thank you. So now we're going to introduce Sacred Woman Practitioner, Lady Ankh. And I want you to understand that these ladies that I called in today, these are the ladies, my sisters, that I went through the mud with. We all came through the mud together during our Sacred Woman Rites of Passage with Queen Afua. And I also contacted her, and I haven't spoken to Lady Ankh in a little while, but that's how you know true support. She was busy. She had another meeting, and she said, "Don't worry, sister. I'll be there to hold space for our other sister, ladies P and U." So let's welcome to the stage, Lady Ankh.
Give thanks. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction. It is always a pleasure to be in the sacred circle with my sisters. Give thanks for being here tonight.
Sisters, yeah. Thank you. I want to thank you so much for showing up and showing out. I am truly, truly honored to be graced and by you by you ladies, my sisters, for helping me and for helping Lady P. So we're going to keep it moving right along. I don't want to take too long because I just want Lady P to, tell her story. This woman is a phenomenal woman. When we say strong black woman, that's what this woman is. I didn't even know her full story until 2, 3 days ago. But we known each other for at least about, I would say, going on 2 years from connecting within the community of, showcases and performing and things of that nature. When she performs, she's outstanding. Her music is positive. But you never know what somebody is going through. That's why you should be careful what you say to people and how you treat people. This woman is strong. She's phenomenal. She is a empress. She is a goddess. And when you see her, you wouldn't even think that she was going through that. She is a true warrior. And I am so grateful to have her on my podcast. Let's welcome to the stage the lady of the hour, Lady P.
Oh, thank you. That glorious
Thank
intro,
you,
Sheila.
Mark.
Hi, everyone.
Man. Lady P, I want you to know that we are here for you. When we spoke,
Thank you.
prior to today, because I always have like a brief interview with my guests just to get a feel of what we're going to be talking about. You stated that you're always there for everyone and no one is there for you. And I truly understand that. And when you are a healer, and I know Sacred Woman Practitioner probably understands that, and Sacred Woman Practitioner Lady understands that as well. When you're a healer, you're always there for everyone else, but no one is there for you. So I had to call my sisters in to support you. This show is about you, and we are here for you. And this is a safe space.
I
So
appreciate that.
the stage is yours. Tell everyone who you are.
I'm Lady P. I'm a singer, songwriter, music vocalist, independent artist. Um, I'm a mother of 12 kids. Um, I have 9 grandchildren, couple more on the way. Um, I'm a wife. I'm an auntie, a sister, just a regular traditional person, just a regular person. Um, I don't know where you want me to start, Itoy. I liked it better when you asked the questions.
No problem. Um, let's start when now I just want to know if I have permission to to talk about the things or ask questions about the
You
things
can,
that we
you
spoke
can,
about the
you
other
can.
day.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay. Okay. Let's start um let's start with your grief.
Oh wow. Uh, my grief is my son. Out of my 12 kids, one of my sons were murdered October 2016, in Harlem.
Mm,
That's like that's one of the highlights of my life because the reason he was murdered for 15 cents in a refrigerator, it's that's the hardest thing. I still deal with it. I love all my kids here or near and far, but that was the whole thing. I didn't like that, it hurts, So my other grief is I have another son. He's my youngest twin. He's in jail doing 24 years for murder. So it's like that's hard. It's very hard, but I'm holding it down. I have to. I have to. I'm a mom. Mothers are strong. Whether your mothers are not, we're strong. But that's how that goes. But that's two of my griefs right there. So
Well, I just want to say, I don't know how it feels to lose a child, but I
Mm-hmm.
definitely know how it feels to lose a loved one. Um,
Right.
like my father, my uncle, and a lot of other family members and friends. And I'm just now learning how to deal with grief a few years ago because of my spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really helped me deal with the grief. Excuse me, only because even though I know they are not here, I know they are here in spirit, and I know I can still be able to talk to them, and and things of that nature. Um, that's the only thing that kind of eased it. So I just want to say, you're not a regular person. You're a phenomenal woman. You're a
Thank you. I
phenomenal
appreciate that.
woman. Um, and I truly admire your strength.
Thank you so much.
Sacred Providencia or Sacred Woman Lady, do you have anything you want to say?
I will.
No, y'all don't have anything. Okay,
Can you hear me?
okay,
Okay.
Yes.
So first of all, I want us to just take a
yes.
deep breath in, Lady P. I want you to take a deep breath in, hold it, and release. Because what you just told us was a lot. That was a lot. You're a mother, aunt, cousin, sister, friend, businesswoman with 12 children, one of which has transitioned. The other is incarcerated, so that's a loss in itself as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And that's a lot to take on and to carry. And so just the power of the breath can give us a second to recalibrate those things that we just spoke, because that's a lot to take in. So we want to just go ahead and release out that energy of the loss of your child who's transitioned, and the distance that creates the loss with having a child that's incarcerated. I don't understand that type of a loss, because when you are a mother and you've carried a child in your womb and you birth that child into this reality, you don't expect to have to bury them. That's not something that you sign up for when you when you bring that child into this reality. You're not saying, okay, at some point I'm gonna have to release this child in this way. Um, but energy never dies. Energy never dies. It's
Hmm.
only transformed. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want to go too deep just yet, but I do want to say that the energy of that child that is no longer present physically is still very much present in all of your other children, because we imprint on the people around us. And it's
Mm-hmm.
important for us to understand and
Hmm.
identify, especially when we're going through grief. It's important for us to remember those loved ones that have transitioned, and to be able to see them throughout the other people that are in our family, throughout the things that we encounter in day to day life, the music we listen to. You may hear a song that reminds you of him, a memory that comes up that'll remind you of him, or you'll hear him saying something just the way he says it, and that's the perfect thing that you needed to hear at
Hmm.
that moment. So when we think about grief and the loss of a loved one, we really want to transform that thought into not a loss, but just a transition in the relationship. Okay, the relationship between you and that particular child has transformed in a way where now you have to be able to see him throughout everything in life. And it could be a beautiful experience once you have come to the understanding that although he is not here physically, I do still have a connection with him, because his imprint will last forever.
Yes, ma'am.
Ashe? And I want to
Ashe.
give you more time to share, but I just
Ashe,
wanted to take that
Ashe.
time to breathe and to interject that there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Ashe.
I'll
I
share.
want to before, because I know you want to say something, Fabi.
Okay, my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Sherry Unk, for
Go
your
ahead. Mm-hmm.
statement. Lady P, first of all, I want to continue what Sherry Unk said. You are not a normal woman. You are a phenomenal light being. You are gorgeous. Your energy is just amazing. So thank you for what you're doing in the community. Thank you for allowing us to be in your space because like Sherry Unk said, when you're dealing with loss, there's a loss from a child, there comes a lot. And I've never lost a child to date. But I also want to share that there's a divine switch in grief when you can flip the narrative on it. May I see her face? Etoy, can you put us both
Sure.
up? Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beautiful switch in grief that comes when you turn it, like Sherry Unk was saying, not into a loss, but a gain. And there's so much that you're gaining on this other side. When we think that we parted ways with our ancestors, we've actually reconnected in a more dynamic way that we never thought that we could ever tap into this energy. And when we tap into this energy and we turn grief into something positive now, grief is hard and you have to go through it. And I'm not going to give you some positivity speech because that's not why we're here. Grief is hard. Grief is hard. I commend you for sitting on this call to say that you've lost 2 of your sons because you have to grieve everything. You have to integrate and you have to grieve everything. And how your grief looks may not be how my grief looks. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
have to take that grief and empower yourself, take that grief and cry, take that grief and sit in that space. There's a dynamic switch in going through grief versus going around it. And I'm a huge person who celebrates going through it. Now, I will be honest with you, Lady P. It's not going to be easy. It won't be pretty. It doesn't look kind for everyone else. But this is your personal story and how you want to love your now ancestor on the other side. But there's a powerful switch, almost like a light switch. When you take that loss and you transmute that energy into power and gain, because what our ancestors naturally want to do, they want to work for us. So they come in birds. They come everywhere, like Sherry Unk said, in songs. What I've had to learn how to do, I dealt with grief with my dog not too long ago. Totally different situation. But my daughter asked him to come back as a bird, and he now knocks on the back window every single day. Every single day, he knocks on the back window. So what I would invite you to do, this is just a huge invitation for me. Write down the top 3 things that you and your son enjoy doing. It could be dancing. It could be singing a rap lyric. It could be gardening. Write down the top 3 things that you and your son enjoy doing. Like he loved going skating or he loved Tupac or whatever. And when you listen to that, invite him into that space. Call him in. Call him into that space. Call him into the energy before you get on calls or before you do a performance. Call that energy in. My son, I need you now. I need you. Come into this existence with me to empower me, to give me the strength I need to transmute this energy. And watch, every time you call, they will always come. I've never called my grandmother, my dog, a friend when I needed them. Did they not call? The thing is, we have to learn to use those resources because they want us to grab them every single time. They want us to stand in their favor and honor them. Like, you know what? This is not a loss. This is a gain. This is a gain. This is what I needed to empower me, to lift me up. Because as he's lifting you up, you're going to feel that energy, and that energy is going to give you wings. It's going to give you wings so you can fly. So what I invite you to do, write down 3 top things that you know that y'all both love or something y'all both enjoy doing, and take that what you would consider a loss, and today we're going to flip that light switch on. The light switch is coming on today. Today you are
Okay.
getting empowered. Today we're not sitting in it as though it's a problem. We're sitting in it though it is, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, because you got a good one. And if you got a good one, that means you're going to come here on the other side and show me better than you could tell me. They love to hear that. They love to hear it. There's other observances you can do. If you believe in ancestor money, you can send over ancestor money. Whatever your belief systems are around it, however you feel comfortable, but to show your love for this person, invite that space in and treasure it. And you would see how remarkable they are on the other side to giving you what you need, to giving you what you want. And it is limitless energy. Think of it as limitless energy,
Okay.
direct light from source that you could call on any given time of day or night and day, and ask him, show me who you are. Show me what you've learned over there. And the you know how they say the world would just become expansive? It will become infinitely expansive. Thank you, Ashe.
Thank you so much for that, Private. I want to piggyback on what both of my sacred women sisters said. The power of the breath um
Mm.
is so healing. You could literally save your life with breath. And as you inhale, make sure you visualize you inhaling all light, all positive energy. And as you exhale, you letting go all the bad, all of it. My godfather, Baba Olu, he was on this podcast as well. He's a breathwork teacher. He's been doing this for quite some time. He has a business called Breathing with Orisha. And this is what he teaches. That man saved my life from doing breath work. And this was, I had a nervous breakdown. Everybody knows I had a nervous breakdown right after my father died. I couldn't take it. That grief. That grief hit me so bad that I was slumped over to the front like this, and I felt like I was gonna fall on the floor. So as you breathing in, you breathing in all the elements because we are connected to all the elements: air, fire, water, and earth. And as you breathing in, you're breathing in all of the essence, all of the elements that you need. Because we get so caught up in our day-to-day life that we forget who we are. And we forget how powerful we are. We forget that we carry the tools with us. We forget that from our everyday life. This is why I brought my sisters on, because I knew what you needed. And I had gave you some, when it just was me and you talking, but I just needed more help to move this conversation forward. Now the ancestral work, I'm not going to get too much deep into it, because I don't want to reveal all the secrets on camera because of my path. But what I will say is the ancestral work is so amazing. Your ancestors have all your keys and all your answers and all your medicine. Everything that you need, your ancestors have it for you. You have at least a snippet of a fraction of a less than a billion ancestors walking with you. You represent them. And I also want to tell you that all the chosen ones are the representation of the ancestors. All the chosen ones are always the one that have it the hardest. So congratulations to you, Lady P.
Thank you.
Your
Humbly
ancestors sent the
grateful.
message through us to tell you that you are the chosen one. That's why you are going through all of this in your life. You are here to break the ancestral curses. But don't worry about it because they got the medicine for you. Your ancestors walk with you. I wish that we could have more podcasts and so we could teach people about ancestral work, because a lot of people don't know about that, and it's ostracized against us in the black community. Everyone else could venerate their ancestors, but when it comes to the black community, it's demonized. But I'm gonna tell you something. Our ancestors are the gateway and they have the keys. And you have gained an angel.
Oh wow.
You have
Thank
gained
you.
an angel. And your son will not want you to stop living your life. Guess what? He's your ancestor now.
Hmm. Nice. I like that. Thank you.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But guess what? He lives through you. My godfather also teaches the different parts of the ori, the different portals in our body, and our ancestors live right here on the back of our neck. They live there. Your ancestors is always with you. Trust me,
Mm.
I got some more homework for you. I
Uh-oh.
should have had him on
Uh-oh.
this podcast so that he could have been talking about the ancestral work and the breath work. I should have had him here. Godfather, I know I sent you the link. So if you are tuning in, let me know if you want to jump on this podcast so we can get this work going. So with that being said, we're gonna move along. But I just had to. I hope you received that. Wait, probably this we want to say something else, but I hope you receive what we are saying to you. I hope this is resonating with you within your soul. At this
I
time,
felt
let
that.
everything go. Nothing else matters. We're gonna live in the present moment right now.
I felt that.
We're gonna let everything go. Everything. You felt that? All right.
I felt
Probably want to say something else.
I also
that.
want to say what I'm feeling right now is that your son created this event right here for you. Things like this don't happen by chance. People don't just stumble in communities
They sure
because
don't.
we just accidentally got here. There's a reason why Etoy, Empress Etoy, Lady Unk, and I have already been together to do this work. So when you think about how people are divinely guided and connected, this doesn't happen by chance. This is something that your son is like, my mother needs help. Send her help. And we are here. So count on sisterhood because in community, this is where you heal. I couldn't heal by myself. But when I got in community with other women and other healers who felt the way I did, depleted, tired, exhausted, and all these things, and we sat in a collective get together and shared all of our most intimate stories, that is when the veil lifted and we were all able to heal holding hand in hand. It's great to heal by yourself when you're in a position to, but it's even better to heal when you're in community. So, Lady P, welcome to community. Welcome to infinite love. Welcome to
Shay.
sisterhood. You
Shay.
are no longer on this trip by yourself. You now have family. I'm complete.
Thank you.
I
Thank
want to
you.
just add, just to interject really quickly. So, as you all know, I am a sacred woman practitioner as well, and I am going through the rites of passage with another group of mentees, swim as we call them, sacred women in the making. This week, when sacred woman practitioner Providencia said nothing happens by chance, this week is sacred relationships. Okay, this is the week that we focus on those
Mm.
relationships. And this is the week that a lot of the grief, a lot of the trauma, a lot of the things that we're talking about tonight, this is the week that we really dive deep into that. And what I find is that sometimes there's so much power in just being, and we talked a lot about the breath, but being able to speak about the things that are hurting us, that the trauma we had, the triggers that we're facing, the boundaries we need to set. When we start to speak about some of those things, it releases the hold that it has on our heart, the hold that it has on our mind, and the hold that it has on our womb. And we're not even able to manifest the desires of our hearts because we're so weighed down and bogged down by the generational traumas, by the grief and losses that we've encountered throughout our walk within this time. And so I just wanted to say, as Pravi mentioned, this isn't a coincidence. This is a divine realignment to get you back on track, because our children are our greatest teachers, okay? They come with a specific assignment to teach us something. Now, they may have a purpose outside of that within the world, but they do come with an assignment for us as their parents, something to teach us. Whether you're learning love, patience with the different children, you are learning something from those lived experiences. And your son making his transition, I know it's hard to look at it this way, but I want you to take some time, and it may have to be after this call when you have time to just quietly reflect. But what about that are you supposed to learn from his transition? The way he transitioned, if you're still angry about it, now's the time. Let's talk about it. Let's get that anger out. The way he transitioned, what his life was looking like, and how his life was about, because there is something in that that is for you, specifically for you, the family as well, but specifically for you. So I want you to look into that. The same with your son who's incarcerated. There's something that you have to be looking into. See, when we look at our children, a lot of us say, okay, well, they made their own choices. I did the best that I could. And that's absolutely true. We do the best that we can with the tools that we have. And sometimes we be using broken tools ain't got a handle, tools, imaginary tools, so we understand that we did the best that we can, but where do I learn? Where is the part that I'm going to pull from this to elevate me for my higher good? What is it that I'm supposed to learn from this? Okay, I have a son that's incarcerated. Maybe I'm supposed to learn patience. Maybe I need to learn how to sit still for a second so that I could be able to give him some tools on how he can cope with being in a confined space. Maybe I need to sit still for a moment so that I could be able to minister to my son or to nurture my son even through the distance. And I'm just saying these things because oftentimes we forget as parents, because we're so busy teaching and raising them, that they're teaching us.
You're absolutely right. You're
Sure.
100% right. This is funny. I'm never stuck for words, but you're absolutely right because like I have all the patience in the world with my children and with everybody, being that they have like disabilities and mental issues and all them kind of things. So I have patience. And with my son, I always think about those three things that you said. He liked basketball. I played basketball when I was a kid, from in junior high to high school, and playing football in high school. He liked those things. He liked music. I like music. He likes to draw. I like to look at their drawings. You know what I mean? Because I don't draw, but I like to look at their drawings. So, it's like different. I know my kids aren't perfect, and I learn from each and every one of them. Every day, all the calls, all the problems, being that they're so old, I sit there and I still take my time and my patience and deal with them. Between the bipolar, the schizophrenic, the ADHD, the ODD, the ED, everything, I deal with it. Because I'm like, okay, here we are. Let me just help them with this, even though they're grown and they don't live with me. I just still come as I can, but now I have to set boundaries because I don't want to lose my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I set
Speaking of
boundaries with
boundaries,
them.
speaking of boundaries, I'm sorry to cut you off, Lady P. I have
It's
to
fine.
say this. I have to say this. Speaking of boundaries, that was my segue. I was waiting for the right, because we gonna tune out all the negative energy right now. Cause right now I'm on fire. I done did my ancestry work. I've been doing a whole lot of spiritual work, and I'm not putting up with none of this. This is for um NEPPC. Why is it a struggle for women to be submissive? Now, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you logging in, but we're not gonna have this same conversation that we had. We're not gonna have the disruptive energy like how we had last time. Last episode, you gave your input. You was going back and forth, but this is not that kind of podcast this time. We are here for Lady P, and I said in the beginning of the podcast that she's here to tell her story, and we are here to support her. So if you cannot support her on this one, I let it slide the last time, but I'm not doing that this podcast. We are here to support Lady P. Hear her story before you ask, and come on and ask why is it so hard for a woman to be submissive. That's not what the podcast is about tonight. It's about grief, pain, and loss. We're going to dismiss all the negative energy right now.
Hmm.
Right now. I'm setting a boundary, and that's for everyone. This podcast is about love, healing. But even though you're a spiritualist, sometimes you got to get gangster.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't come with that this podcast. Thank you
Yes,
so kindly.
we say good,
I'm
but we
sorry,
ain't
Lady P.
stupid.
Um,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that this time.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry,
That's
Lady
crazy.
P.
No, no, you're fine.
I would
I,
like for
I
you to
peeped
go
that
more
too.
deep into because gave you a lot of
Okay, so you,
we gave you a lot of healing energy for the last about 15 20 minutes, and I just want you to tell me what you were saying to me before about how you don't even want to go to your incinerator. Now I gave you some homework. Now I
oh
want everybody
yeah,
is it okay for me to tell people the homework that I gave you?
yes, ma'am, and then I can answer your questions accordingly.
Is it okay for me to okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Now I gave her homework because she always taking care of everyone else. And I told her today was Lady P's holiday. She was to say no to everyone
Yes, ma'am.
because her no to everyone else is her yes to herself. Lady P is afraid to go to the incinerator to take out her garbage. Right? I told her when she wake up this morning before she step foot on floor, she's going to pray to the Most High. She's going to get up. She's going to take a nice bath with some flowers, perfume, put her favorite outfit on, put some makeup on, and she's going to go and she's going to, before she walk out that door, grab her garbage, ask the Most High to guide her footsteps to the incinerator and back. I didn't ask her to go down the block yet, but I asked her to go to the incinerator because that's a big step within itself. The mind is powerful. When fear takes over, it stops our whole entire life. And sometimes we got to say, fear, back up. And then I said, after she does that, find her space. I'm not sure if I told her to make some tea and then go write
You
because
did.
she's a writer.
You did. You
You
did.
have the floor, Miss P.
You did all. You told me all that.
And how do you
Um,
feel?
I feel fine. Um, that don't mean I'm gonna get up and go to the garbage tomorrow. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. But I'm trying, and I'm not perfect. But the reason why I want y'all to understand the reason why I don't go out the door. Um, this is something from with my son, with my youngest twin that's in jail. When he got caught the murder charge for this kid that he murdered, I don't condone any murders for anybody because I know how parents feel because my son was murdered. But what happened was, whoever the kid was that he murdered, I didn't know the kid, but they seemed to know where I lived, and they came and kicked my door in, shot my house up, all kind of things. So obviously these people want my other kids, meaning the remaining twin brother and the other brother. So I'm not gonna let a child decide or a kid decide how I'm gonna die, but then I still have to look out for myself because I don't know these people. So as I moved here, I stopped going outside. So I find myself inside. I do my therapy. I have a therapist and a psychiatrist. I find myself doing televisits. I used to be in the office, but I don't. I do everything over the phone or via video. I find it peaceful. Still kind of scary because when you move into a new place, all the noise, all the little crazy things that happens is like weird. But I'm in the house, and I don't do karaoke anymore. If I come outside, I'm doing my music. I just be in the house. I love to be in the house, and that's it. You know what I mean? My health is not good, but I'm trying. I'm trying, and that's all I can do is try.
Kudos to you. All you gotta do is try, and I just want to commend you on your bravery.
Thank
And
you.
you are absolutely right. Rome was not built in a day, and it's the baby steps. And I'm just so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you. You know,
Thank you.
and I totally understand you feeling that you have to protect yourself. You have to do what you have to do for yourself to protect yourself. You know your situation better than anybody else. But I also want you to remember what all three of us just told you. Your ancestors
Yes,
got your back.
yes, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Your ancestors got your back. The Most High got your back. You ain't going nowhere. You have to have faith within yourself and faith within the Most High.
I really do.
And I know how
I,
your faith is because and we spoke.
I
Go
really
ahead.
do. I really do. I have faith that I pray every day. I don't go to church because that's too much standing and sitting and standing and sitting. I can't sit there and stand up, and I'm too old for that. There's too many issues, too many health issues. So I'm not, but I make sure I stay prayed up. But as far as I
Mm,
believe in God. I love Him. I give all glory to God. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Him, we wouldn't be where we are. You know what I mean? But like, I believe it's just I have too many health issues. Like between like breast cancer and ovarian cancer, I have stage 2 of both. Heart failure. I have issues with my back. I had 2 surgeries on my back, 4 surgeries on my foot. And like it's too much. I have too many health issues between sleep apnea and messing with my heart, and it's a lot. But guess what? I'm here. I'm here. I'm holding on. It's just me. I overthink. Like I told Etoy, I overthink. I'm an overthinker. If I don't overthink, things are gonna be so very different. So I have to overthink. If I stop thinking, then who knows what would happen. But I have to overthink.
I'd love to chime in if it's okay, Lady P.
Hmm.
Okay, so one of my favorite quotes that I heard the other day is that you can have faith or you can have fear, but neither one you cannot see.
mm,
And that changed my life because I'm an overthinker like
mm,
you.
mm.
Um, Sometimes
Me
I put
too.
myself in overthinking situations where I scare myself because of the outcome. I'm afraid of my bigness. My overthinking will keep me playing small. My overthinking and the negative things or whatever is going on in my brain will keep me entrapped in my own world. It's almost like I have to tell myself, I have to stop putting myself in a victim mindset, right? And reclaim the throne that the Most High has given me. And that's one thing that I thought about. When you think
Mm,
about faith and when you think about fear, neither one is tangible. You cannot pick it up like this mug, but you have to believe in one or the other. You get what I'm saying? It's a right or a left, right? And then the next part about what I wanted to share with you, when you said something about going outside, and I had to learn for myself is that when I go within, I could go anywhere in the world. Let me repeat that. When I go within and I sit within myself and I meditate, I could be in Bali today. I could be right next to the sun tomorrow because I'm
mm,
going within. And when you go within, you can't go without. So even though right now you're trying to get to the trash can, I want you to visually sit down and meditate the things that you want to do. And as you sit down and meditate in visualization, I want you to visualize just opening up that door. You don't have to open it, but I want you to visualize it. I want you to visualize walking outside, touching the grass, walking outside, um, looking at the sun, walking outside, getting into the space where you're on stage again, when you're walking without pain. You get what I'm saying? Because pain will keep you in the mindset that you can't do anything. But if you go deep within yourself and you feel that limitless energy within your body, you can do everything. You can do everything. You can reconnect cells and heal your own body. That's the beautiful thing about the divine. When we have the divine within us, we can do anything and everything, and the energy is limitless. So you don't have to start. When you say a baby step is a step, I absolutely honor that. I absolutely honor that. But I also want to challenge you. While I honor that, I challenge you. Go within. Visualize you opening that door. Feel the fear of you touching that handle. Then move the next time. And we're going to start with 5 minutes, in the next couple of days. Then the next 5 minutes, you go further past that door. Now you get to take your trash out wherever that is. Or you go to the second door in your home or wherever you live. Then the next time you go, you're going to get on the elevator. And that's going to be 15 minutes. You're going to visualize yourself waking up, getting dressed, getting past your door, getting past the second door. And even if it scares you and you cry in that meditation, I want you to release that energy. Because the more you release that energy, you're putting more energy back into the things that you want to do. You're an infinite woman. Don't keep yourself stagnant out of fear. Keep yourself in faith because you cannot see them. They cannot be held. Keep yourself in faith. So next time you go in again and you drop it into a meditation, find some music. They have different meditations online that, just say, I'm having anxiety going outside. And every single day you work towards getting all the way outside the door in the meditation. And one day that meditation will absolutely come true. So a baby step is a step. And I challenge you to visualize yourself doing the things that you love to do. Visualize your healing. The only act of whenever I feel like I have pain is because I was willing to accept what someone else was willing to tell me about myself. You walk up and you stand up and you say, my body is whole, perfect, and complete. My soul is whole, perfect, and complete. From the top of my head to the bottom of my toes, I am whole, perfect, and complete. You're no longer walking in pain. You're no longer walking in lack. And even if you get out the door when you're finally ready for 2 minutes, that's another step. But start where you are. Start in your home. Start in your heart. Start in your heart, because the heart unlocks everything. Sit there in that space of divine love for yourself, even if it's crying, even if it's honoring the space that you're in, and then proceed to move to the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And one day, I invite you, one day, I declare, you will be outside again. You will feel the energy and the infinite love and not have to walk in fear. And you will walk in faith. I'm complete.
Ashe, sis. I'm gonna jump in right after you if it's okay, and proceed to it, because
go ahead, do your thing. That's why I brought y'all on.
Sis just fired me up, because right before you said it, I was thinking, are you operating out of faith or are you operating out of fear? And that's a question that I want you to continuously ask yourself. Am I operating out of faith or am I operating out of fear? So you just got a download from Pravi that was right on point, because you don't have to go step outside of your home. The work that you need to be focused on right now is within. You need to go deeper within so that you can transmute some of that energy. Because what you talked about in your diagnosis is breast cancer, as well as ovarian cancer. Now, I love the etymology of words, but I also look into the spiritual meanings behind the actual diagnosis that we've been given. Okay, when you're given a diagnosis, when you're given a diagnosis of breast cancer, let's start there, okay? You get breast cancer from an overly nurturing spirit. Now, we got 12 kids, right? So we didn't already know that's a bunch of nurturing that you're doing. But that breast cancer stems from overly nurturing others and not creating a divine balance with yourself, okay? All right. Now, when we get ovarian cancer, those are the unbirthed dreams, our unbirthed desires, the things that we want to manifest in this world that we haven't been able to birth. Okay. I'm saying this and I want to break down even when we having the heart troubles, right? When we having the heart troubles is what you said. You don't feel like no one is
Oof.
there for you. You got all these things that you pouring into, but you're not able to pour it into yourself, and then nobody is helping to refill your cup. Now, when we put all of these things together, it's no reason why you're having the anxiety about going and stepping outside the house. We just came off of a 3-year bout of COVID and all of the hysteria behind that. And that happened as you were trying to process the loss of your child. Okay. And so these things that are bubbling up in your spirit, or in your body, are a manifestation of the fear that you have been operating in within the last, what, we almost at 10 years, 8 years since 2016, when your son passed. You've been operating in a state of fear, and then it's been compounded by societal things that's happening. The news don't help. These things don't help.
Not almost done.
And so when we take these things that are happening with us, and we have these habits that aren't really helping us by being overly nurturing. See, there's a thing as being too nurturing. We don't be, we not taught that. We think, okay, I'm a great mother, but there's one thing to nurture your child, then there's another thing to coddle them. There's one thing to be there for someone to support them, and then there's another thing to be aiding their bad behavior. And so these are the times where we have to start stepping outside of the norm of how we responded to things and start to self-check, like, wait a minute, hold up, swole up, my body breaking down before my eyes, because spirit, the most high, my ancestors, are telling me, slow your roll, focus on you. And every time they tell you slow your roll, focus on you, you doubling down back doing the other stuff with the other people. Okay, so breast cancer didn't work, let me give you ovarian cancer. Okay, so ovarian cancer didn't work, let me give you this. That spirit, the most high, the most high, and I like to think of the most high as the spirit that dwells within us. We all have our own interpretation, but the divine being, that the Christ within you, okay, is speaking to you like, you need to take time for you. You need to focus on you. You need to, you didn't raise them 12 kids as best you could. Sorry if I wasn't perfect. I'm trying to get perfect. So I'm going to need 5 mommy minutes so that I can get myself together. No, don't call me on Sundays. I used to do a fast day. Monday was my fast day, so I would do nothing but water on Mondays. And when I was doing that, I had to tell, literally, I had to tell certain family and friends, and then it went to everyone. I had to tell them, do not call me on Monday unless it's an emergency. I don't have time for small talk. I don't have time for gossip. I don't got time for what you eating for dinner. Do not call me unless it's an emergency. Because I noticed that I had a hard time setting my own boundary with not being so readily available to everybody.
Thank
I
you.
I
Oh
had
my
Thank
to
God.
he said
you.
I had to start saying, oh, this is my favorite one, and I'm gonna tell you to do this too, Lady P. I had to start telling people before I give a yes. Okay, so I'm telling you, Lady P, before you give a yes, you didn't already practice saying no. That was perfect, Empress Etoy. That was perfect. You didn't practice saying no. Now I'm telling you, before you give a yes, tell everybody, no matter what, tell them, let me check my schedule. And then don't reply with a yes until after 24 hours. That will give you time to really figure out if you have the space and the bandwidth to commit to what you're committing to. Does that make sense?
That makes a whole lot of sense, and you're absolutely right. That's how I give it up with anyone that, like, either my kids or anybody I have to do things with. I have to go by my calendar because I have a lot of doctor's appointments. When you have a lot of health issues, you have a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of medicine, a lot of this, a lot of that. So I do have to go into my calendar and be like, oh, let me see, this day is good or that day is good. Like for example, my daughter, one of my favorite daughters, she books with me like a month or two in advance for my grandson. So I can do that. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, I get it. All I can say to that is hallelujah.
May I add one more to that? I love what Sherry. May I add one more step to that, please? Not
Yes,
only
ma'am.
do I want you to go into your regular calendar, I want you to tap into your spiritual calendar.
Mm.
Let me say that one more time
Took
for
it
you,
out, took
especially
the
for the
words
people in
out
the
my
back.
mouth, sis. Took
Just
the
for the
words
people
I
in the
don't
out
want
back.
my
you to just
mouth.
go into your regular calendar. I want you to set up a spiritual calendar. Have I meditated this morning? Have I given myself tea this morning? Is this person gonna pull my energy? Because every time this person come into my energy, they always pulling from me. Do I have the bandwidth in my spiritual bandwidth? I had to tell my mother the other day, before you call me, I need you to call 911 or the fire department because I spiritually don't have it in my bandwidth right now to drop
Stop it.
what I'm doing to go to your house, to take you to the fire department when 911 operates and all they got to do is come and check your blood pressure. That's what I'm talking about, your spiritual calendar. Because sometimes people will pull and pull and pull, and before you know it, they have pulled you and sucked you all the way into their situation, and you are left to dry out by yourself. You picked up their problems, their habits, their spiritual attachments. When sometimes you have to let people know you have to go through your own journey, and it's time to cut you off because you're draining my energy.
And
Now,
it's
this is about,
okay. And it's okay to
yeah,
say that.
and it's okay. Etoy gave me a good book about energy vampires that I read while we were on our journey. And I listened to. But that's what it's all about. Don't just look at your regular calendar. Before I responded to Etoy, I said, let me process, let me think. Do I have it in my bandwidth to be able to do this lifting? And if I don't, then I need
So
to be
did Lady
radically
Aunt.
honest. You see
So
what
did
I'm saying?
Lady Aunt.
Let me double
Mhm.
check before I just rush to say yes. Do I have it in my spiritual calendar right now to give? And am I giving from a place of abundance, or will I be giving from a place of lack? Because if I'm giving from a place of lack, then I'm not showing up the way I really, really need to show up. That means I don't need to do it anyway. I need to be resting. You got to take time in your spiritual calendar to add an extra day for rest for you. So I'm going to give you a piece of advice that I always give my clients. You pour one for somebody else, I invite you to pour two for you.
I like that.
When you
Like that.
pour one,
That's
I
right.
invite you to give yourself two.
I like that.
And if
Thank you.
you give them one and you don't give them two, yourself two, now you and your higher self got some problems because you're not replenishing. See,
Right.
when the cup gets here, they say only pour from your overflow. I'm gonna give you one extra. Don't just pour from your overflow. Give people the cold residue on the side. Because sometimes your overflow gets too low, and then you start to dip into your reserves, and then you look up and you got an empty cup. And you like, well, dang, everybody else needed me. And now I have nothing for myself but drips. We're not doing that no more as of today. You're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
look in your calendar. You're going to look in your spiritual calendar. You know what? And you say this, I love you, but right now I don't have it in my wheelhouse to give. I love you, but right now I'm looking at my finances and in my wheelhouse, if I were to give that to you, then I don't have it for me. Right now, I had to tell my mom, I love you. And when you have another emergency, I need you to call 911 because I love me. That way I can love you. But if I don't love me, how can I love and say I love you?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit in that space.
Yes, ma'am.
Sit in that
I
bath
say,
with that energy. Release that thing of people pleasing because you want people to love you. But what you got to tell yourself is, I love me so much that it affords me to love you, but I will not love you more than I love me.
That's
This
right.
is a me. This is a me lifetime. This is my journey. We're giving
Yes,
you
ma'am.
back your power. This is your journey. You don't get no more excuses after this. To love me, this cup got to be overflowed, and I'll give people the water, that cool drip of water that comes on the back
They love the
end.
side.
It come on the side when you're drinking your water, your cold water, that residue.
Yes, I know
That's what
exactly
you
what you're
give people because you will never run into your basin and your cup will never be dry.
Love that
I'm
analogy.
complete.
I love it. I love it.
say for the people in the back. Didn't I tell you,
Yes,
Lady
ma'am.
D, we was
Ashe,
showing up for
ashe,
you? I said I
ashe.
got to call
Yes,
my
ma'am.
stars. I say.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to move it right along. I want to say thank you, 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 thank you. Fisa says self-preservation. Thank you, Fisa. Um, Fisa's supposed to be on the show too. I'm gonna hold you to it, Fisa. So I want to talk about. You said you was adopted.
Yes.
Can you hear
Excuse
me?
me. Yeah.
Yes. You said
Yeah,
you
I
was.
can hear you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, I was. My mom, um, she was a heroin addict. So all the kids that she'd have were all heroin babies. We were all adopted. But the funniest thing about it, I was adopted within my family because my father was the oldest. So my grandmother adopted me, but they just treated me like I was really adopted and not even a relative. So the things that were done and said to me brings me to like as an adult now, it brings me like I have no closure. So I'm upset. I'm upset. I want to wring necks, but that's not how you do that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't move on without the closure. That's what I was explaining to Etoy. So I have to have that closure. If I don't, then I know some of them are dead, but I still, you know, want the closure. Why? Why me? Why did you do this to me? Why was I the target? Just why? And I was a relative. Like things like why didn't you do this to your kids? You know what I'm saying? Why me? That's my biggest question. I didn't get that. I never did. I still don't. And I just need the closure because it's wrong.
Well, me and you spoke about it. I gave you my response. Well, everything that we spoke
Yes, ma'am.
about, I done gave you my response and some homework to it
Yes, ma'am.
a few days ago. This is why I brought. So
Yes, ma'am.
you know how what's my response, but I would like for my
Mhm.
sacred sisters if they have anything to respond to this about. Probably we already know how I was with the womb healing. With the womb trauma. You went through the same thing with me as well. What I do want to say is I don't think I said that to you on the phone the other day. We have somebody logging in. We have Samanica, Sacred Woman Samanica logging in. Is that Samanica? Yes, this is Sacred Woman Samanica. So before I bring Sacred Woman Samanica to the stage, I want us to hold this thought, hold this space about her childhood trauma. You want to go ahead, Pravi?
I'm gonna have to
Go ahead.
transition out, so this is probably a good time for Monica to come in
Yes, it is.
because I gotta.
Yes.
So
You
please,
said you was only
happy
gonna be here
belated
for one
birthday!
hard hour, and I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Please tell Sacred Woman to Monica I said happy birthday, Mama. But I gotta go travel to get to my destination. So, Lady P, I love you. I'll be sending Empress Etoy some information for you. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Thank
All
you so
right.
much. I
Peace.
appreciate it. All right.
Okay, before we bring Sacred Woman Monica on, Lady Unk, do you have anything you want to say? Um,
Yeah,
it's about her childhood
yes,
trauma.
yes. Whew. So when we think about childhood trauma, I want to read something to you really quick. Um, in Sacred Woman, as I told you this week, we're in sacred relationships, and I want to read you the sacred relationship prayer. It says, Divine Creator, Creatress, I stand in need of sacred relationships. I pray for sacred relationships in my life. First, may I create sacred relationships with you, with my parents, siblings, children, brothers, sisters, friends, associates, co-workers, teachers, and students, with nature and with other relatives and with other relationships. Divine Creator Creatures, help me attract and establish harmonious, wholesome, healthy relationships. Help me unblock and release old hurt feelings, resentments, and hostilities that are trapped within my body temple. Help me to have the vision and the strength to learn from all of my relationships, as they are all my reflection, each and every one. If by chance my relationships do not change, may I remain unfazed and on point. May I be the one to create new links of change and transformation for my ancestors, my descendants, myself, and for all healing really begins within me. I wanted to read that because of the part that says, help me to unblock and release old feelings, resentments, and hostilities that are trapped within my body. You mentioned a few of the issues that you are having with your body, and those definitely stem from unprocessed trauma, unprocessed hurt, pain, anger that stays within your body, creates stagnated energy, which calcifies and creates other issues within the body temple. It is really hard when those people that we got something to say to has transitioned. It feels like, okay, I never got the question answer as to why, why they did certain things or why they treated me certain ways. And so you feel like, oh, there's not a real way for me to process this trauma because they gone and I don't have no one to process that to. I want to invite you could do two things. Either one would be powerful in itself, and you may even need to do both. The first is write a letter to those people who wronged you. Don't try to make it cute. Don't try to make it
I
punctually
said that.
correct.
Mhm.
Don't try to make it nice. Don't pacify your feelings or emotions. Say everything that you wish you could have said if they were standing right in front of you, the way you want to say it. If the incident happened when you was 3 and you wanted to say, you got me all the way effed up, say say it the way that you would want to say it. Because what you need to do now is allow yourself the opportunity and the space to feel like you've been able to say what you needed to say, that you are being heard. The other thing that you can do with that is you can either read it out loud and release that. Like I'm releasing these emotions as I read this out loud. I am releasing this so that I have said everything that I need to say. That so that this no longer is in my body temple. I am no longer holding this in my heart or my mind. I am letting this go once and for all. But Uncle Sam, I didn't like the way you took my money from my paycheck. Whoever it is, I don't like the way you did X, Y, Z, and the third. Whoever it hurt or wronged you, you need to write those letters. You need to be direct. You need to say exactly what is on your mind and on your heart so that you can release that and let that go. And that will be extremely powerful for you. If there are some people that have done you wrong that are still alive and you need those answers, then what I want you to do is write that letter, and you may want to hold on to it until a point in which you feel comfortable to give it to them. You may not get an apology, you may not even get a reply, But sometimes all you need to do is just let a person know how you feel to feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Sometimes
ma'am.
that's all it takes. Is like, you know what, I told them off real good, and now I feel a lot better. Because as we're children and we're going through trauma and hurt, especially
Mhm.
back in our day, you didn't get a chance to say nothing to no parent. You didn't get a chance to say, "Oh, that was wrong," or "You did this." You know, you don't get a chance to say that. Um, but I do want you to, as after you have said what you need to say and have released that, allow yourself to open your heart so that you can receive the answers that you desire. Because then it'll all start to come together. You'll start to understand why. And I'm gonna give you a little bit. I'm sorry, Empress Etoy, if I'm taking too long, but I want to give you a little bit of context of my story. So my family experienced a family member who was sexually molesting many of the children in the family, right? And this family member was my grandfather. I was
Mm.
very, very close with, very close with, and he never touched me. But I was very upset and angry with all of the people. Um, One in particular was my mother, because no one had expressed that to me. Nobody like warned me or nothing like that. Now that never happened to me with him, but it did happen with other people in the family member, in the family. And so when I finally released my anger towards my mother, because I was upset with my mother, because I'm like, you fed me to the wolves. You never said nothing. I could have got hurt. You didn't get hurt, but you could, I could have, is what I thought. And so I was upset with all these different people. And then when I took inventory and I sat back and I really weighed in on why certain things weren't talked about, I got a new understanding for what my mother was going through and why she made the decisions that she did at the time, for what the rest of the family was going through and why they made the decisions that they did at the time. And for those of us who are the next matriarch of our family lineage, stuff for us be a little hard. It be, when we the black sheep of the family, we know that we the black sheep because we breaking the generational curses. We ain't going along with toxic behavior and saying that it's okay. And so it comes with a sense of responsibility within that, for us to not only hold people accountable, but to understand how to find grace in all of the situations and find the lesson in all of the situation. And that's where the work really begins. But start off with the letter of telling them off first. Start off with the letter of getting it off your chest first.
Yes, ma'am. Because I think that's what's
I want to
really
say
like basically holding me back.
I want to say thank you, Lady I want to say thank you, Lady Aunt. I'm gonna bring in Shep Sorry, say Woman Monica and Fisa Rollins. But before I bring them in, I just want to piggyback off of what Lady Aunt said. That's the same thing I told Lady P the other day, to write letters, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you there?
Divine
Yeah,
confirmation.
I
Divine
told her to write some
confirmation.
letters. So and I also want to say, and I also told, I'm not sure if I told her this. I'm not sure if I can remember. I told you this, Lady People. I said, but during the time when, no, I think I did tell you, during the time during the Ma'at gateway, it was about relationships. And that's funny. We talk, oh my God, this is so divine. Oh my goodness.
That's what I was
And
saying. This is divine.
I was molested by a few people. I was molested by a few people when I was a kid, and one of the men that molested me was my mother's ex-boyfriend, and he had the nerve, while we was getting ready to ascend sister, while we was getting ready to fly out to California, he found my Instagram page and started contacting me, like, my pictures and everything. And I had a moment. I think I told Lady P this. I had a moment.
Yes,
I said what I said to him. I cursed him out, but I also blessed him at the end. And then I had a moment. I was banging on tables. I knocked over my bookcase. My living room looked a mess. I had to let that energy out. Once I cursed him out and let him know how I felt, I let all the energy out. So I truly understand. And I really hope that you see that how serious I am, how we are here for you. I hope these stories and and us being the community right now, I hope you getting some healing right now
Yes, I do.
because we're gonna bring on
Mm-hmm.
Sacred Woman. Can you see me? Oh, let me
Mm-hmm.
before I bring them on, I gotta throw a disclaimer out there. Anybody that knows me knows how my internet is. I live by the airport.
Oh,
So please bear
okay.
with
Right,
me.
right.
Some days it want to act right, some days it doesn't.
It's okay.
Okay.
I thought it was me. I was like, wait.
Last week it was great. No, it
Mm-hmm.
ain't you. Last
And
week
it was
it
like,
was great. Today she want to go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You know, but you know what? I don't care about that airport. I'm right by JFK. Sometimes I can see those planes land and take off from my house, from my window.
wow,
I
nice,
don't care about that
nice.
that JFK disrupting my internet. I'm gonna get this message out. People gonna have to
Absolutely.
bear with me because I have been having some great conversations this episode. So without further ado, I want everybody to remember we are here for Lady P. We are here to support her. We are in community for Lady P. She has been telling her story. Just for anyone that's just tuning in, she her son was murdered. She's going through the grief of that. And in the interim, she has 12 children. In the interim of that, her other son went to jail for murdering someone else. Um, she has been, living in fear because, they trying to retaliate against her, so she's just trying to, get her life back. She has ovarian cancer, breast cancer, and heart failure. And we are just here to support Lady P because Lady P is always supporting everyone else and always there for everyone else, so always taking care of everyone else. And at this moment, today is Lady P's holiday, and we are here to support her. So, without further ado, well, we over an hour, but so we gotta cut it short. But I want to bring on these two more sisters, and I want to say thank you for coming in. My other sacred sister, sacred woman, Simonica Warren, Shep Sari. Welcome to the stage.
Greetings, sisters. Greetings, Lady P. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Greetings, Lady Aunt. All my sisters, I haven't seen you guys in so long. It's such a pleasure. I'm in Texas right now, so I thought it was my internet at
Greetings,
first because I'm
greetings,
moving all
greetings.
around. Because it's my granddaughter's sneaker ball, but I didn't go because I just had a knee replacement, so I'm in pain right now. But I had to do this, so just forgive me if you see me making faces and bending and rubbing my knee and walking around because it
No,
gets stiff.
there's no, there's no It's no
I just
problem at
wanted to
all. But
share this.
Fisa Rollins, log back in. I want to bring you back on. Log back in, Fisa Rollins, if you can still hear me. Shep Sorry, she was on the show last season. So this is not her first time
Yes,
on the season. So I just want to thank you. And like I said, we are here
no problem.
for Lady P to give her
Hmm.
support. And Fisa was
Hmm.
on. She was waiting. I wanted to bring you two in at the same time, but she logged back out.
Okay.
So log back on, Sacred Sister, Fisa Rollins. We need to hear your voice because Fisa is so powerful. So, do you have anything you want to say to Lady P?
I first would like to know how is your health? How stable is it? First, let's start with your cancer, and then I know your mental. I'm not going to say I know how is your mental dealing with your health first because without your health you can't even write a letter. So let's start there.
Right. Um, my mental is different. Some days I want to be here. A
Okay.
lot of days I don't. A lot of days I don't.
Hmm.
I'm in therapy. I have a
Okay.
psychiatrist. I'm on medication.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, but it's just like some days I can't even get out of my bed.
Okay.
So it's like I'm here. I'm trying. Like as far everybody keep asking me. So what are you gonna do about the cancer? I'm not gonna do anything about it because I'm gonna tell you why. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna do anything about it right now because I have heart failure. If this heart doesn't move, what cancer? If this heart doesn't beat, what cancer? So I'm working on this heart because my sleep apnea affects my heart. So I'm on a machine every night that I don't want to be on, that irritates my eyes and swell up. Like I got beat up and mess up my nose. I got discoloration of my nose, like I bleached it. Like it's like really weird. Like a lot of things go on, and I just try to take care of me. I try, because I'm so appeased opposed to taking care of everybody else. But I have to cut that bond and move that boundary and take that boundary and let them stay over there. I have to take care of me.
I
But
came
thanks
in
for
on Lady Ankh talking about writing the letters. Um, the letters that you're gonna write, um, how should I say it? It's gonna hit certain places in your body where you may not even want to write the letter, but you have to push yourself to do it, regardless of what. And take your time when you do it, because you don't want to miss nothing and then have to write another letter. So you can.
right.
And I was thinking to myself, try one at a time. Just focus on everything for this one person, whether it's from childhood all the way up to now. Just take your time and try not to miss nothing. Because once you close that envelope and seal that letter, that has to be complete. You don't want to have to come back and say, oh, I should have put that or I forgot that. So take your time because it's very, very important that you do that. Because if you leave something out, it's not releasing everything because you're still going to have something lingering that's going to stay in you. So
Right.
just take your time. I want to just say that. I don't know what else I might have missed before I came on. Forgive me for that because I couldn't sign on with this thing. But I think that's a very
Okay.
valuable thing. I didn't have a childhood trauma, but I had a domestic violence trauma that almost took me up out of here. So I'm not gonna say it's the same thing, but it's similar, which it was hard. It was hard, and we're in the gateway of my eye, as they said, with sacred relationships. I had to go through the gateway of us, which means to love myself more than anything in this world. And right now, till today, I'm still doing that because things come into my life right now that
Mm.
I try to. I have to stay focused and go back and say, I'm not going to let them do this to me, or I'm not going to feel this way because they feel that way because it's about me. I've had enough of the damage. So that's another gem I maybe I could help you with. Is just think
Mm-hmm.
about loving yourself more than anything, and that too will come to pass with everything else is bothering. Because trust me, the Most High does hear. They do hear and they do listen. And it was hard for me. Do you hear me? It was so hard. And I wanted to hold on to this hurt feeling, and not divorce or anything. And I finally got strong enough going through my sister with all the help with all my sisters there. I've cried, I've written letters. They know, they know. So, when we say we're here for you, it's a little part of
We was
us in
here.
you that you're dealing with. All of us is just telling you little stories that the little girl here, the molestation here. I've been through the
Yes.
molestation here, but I didn't bring that up. There's a little part of us all in you right now. That's why we could share it with you to try to give you some
Understood.
strength. Like you're not alone. And we have cried and been on our knees. Trust me. So
Yeah,
if you
I
need to
understand.
cry and you need to call your toy and say you need to have another podcast, include me, and I might try to have a problem coming in, but I'll be there.
Oh,
I'll
thank
be
you so
there.
much. Appreciate it.
You
I
know.
appreciate
I thank
So
you so.
I
I
don't.
thank you so much for that. I want to bring in Fisa Rollins.
Okay.
Um, Fisa is all she's from Harlem, Bronx. I met her through the community of also P, but Fisa is coming on to support you. Welcome to the stage. I think you may know her, right? Welcome to the
I
stage,
met her. I
Fisa.
met her. I met her last week at the show,
Okay. See, now look at that. Now she's here to support you.
and I got her number. She
Okay,
want to work
Fisa,
with me,
you
so
in.
now she's here.
Oh, I think
And
she's
by the way,
having
I'm in
internet
Harlem now
connection.
too. You know I'm in
Mm,
Harlem, right, Toy?
Yeah, I know you're in Harlem. All right. I think
Huh?
Fisa's having little problems.
Oh, she
I
has
think
problems.
Fisa's having internet connection.
Okay.
okay.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, she's having problems. She'll log back in. I want to say shout out to my other sacred sister Ebony Denise. I want you because you said nobody is there for you. You said you always there
See,
for everybody else. I call the woodwork. I here,
and
here
I,
go
and I
here go
definitely
another
appreciate
sacred sister, Ebony Denise. She couldn't log on, but she definitely said that she was going to be here and support you.
I
Oh,
definitely
So
Ebony,
appreciate that.
we all
greetings,
here for you,
sister.
sister.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sister.
Wow.
So
It's
is there
interesting.
anything else that you would like to add? Because this show is about you.
Um, wow, I didn't even get to that part either. With you, Etoy.
Go ahead.
Just wow, it's just a lot. You know, when you've been through a lot, it's crazy. And she just brought it back to me, like the domestic violence, right? I get that. That I've been through that with my kid's father, and it's it's horrible. Like when you have so many kids, and then you can't go outside. You have to open a window to get air. You can't get on the telephone. You can't watch TV. You gotta have food ready by
Mm,
12 o'clock. I'm like, wait, hold on. I know I'm West Indian, but hold on, wait. Okay, so it's like horrible. You did a lot of things, and the thing that hurt me the most, like I don't deal with him, but I had to deal with him when my son was murdered because all of my kids is his kids.
mm,
So I had to deal with him, and the three-way call, it was like a third party kind of call, and then to have him come near
mm,
and didn't know any of his kids, and then when his kids was on the stage of the funeral, that I did everything and he did nothing. He watched my kids cry on that stage, and that was the hardest part of my life. That you didn't know who your kids were, and you watched my kids cry on that stage while you sat in the front row looking. That part I wanted to knock him in the back of the church, but you know you can't sometimes do that. But it's just when you feel like when you want to do that, you know, it's just you gotta. I can say it, but I won't do it. Maybe I will one day. You never know. But I just felt bad for my kids. I had to get my kids off the stage. I had to speak for them and get them off that stage. That was the horrible part. That you looked at my kids and didn't know who was who and when where they were and what their names were and you calling people different names. I'm like, that was the most embarrassing time of my life. But that part
mm.
of my life, I try to block out that to the most because I was like, I told my daughter, I said, if any of y'all ever pass away or anything, I will not be calling him, and just leave it like that,
Mm. Wow.
you know. But I will not, and then that's the
And
thing. Like,
that's why you are a phenomenal woman. You're
I
so
try to be.
strong,
I
and
appreciate it. I try.
God, the Most High gives his toughest battles to his strongest
Thank you
soldiers.
so much.
Soldiers,
Amen.
and I want you to understand, you are a soldier. You are a warrior, an empress warrior.
Thank
Do
you.
you have anything to say to that sacred woman, Samanica? Sorry.
She is. She is. After just saying what she's what just telling me, amongst everything else, and to add domestic violence onto everything else that I've read, you should say that to yourself. You are a phenomenal woman. Because other than that, you would not be standing. And you're not thinking about killing yourself. You're strong and don't ever forget that. You're chosen
Thank
here
you
for a
so much.
reason. And you're gonna conquer all of that. And one day you're gonna give it back to someone that's gonna need it the same way we're giving it to you right now. And for
Thank
some
you so
reason,
much.
that was the domestic violence, and then you telling now you're bringing it up about you were into. I felt a little bad. I said because here I'm bringing out another hurt, then maybe that's what's supposed to come out also, because that's something else that you're gonna conquer. If
Mm-hmm.
you ever want to call and talk, I got some stories for you now. You told you know I got some stories because I had a whole hour for myself also, and I
Ashe.
told everything.
So we're gonna
So
keep it moving. Do you
just
have
feel
anything you want
free,
to say,
feel
lady?
free.
Mm, okay, thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're
Thank you, Shep.
welcome.
Sorry, lady.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I just want to close out by saying that the sisters showed up and showed out for you today. So you are a part of our circle. If you would like some additional time to speak with us, maybe off podcast, Empress Toy, if you could arrange something that we can, kind of support her off the podcast to kind of dig deeper into
Definitely.
some of the areas, to really offer you some
Definitely.
substantial tools. I'd be open for something like that. Thank you so much for allowing me to share some of my wisdom with you and to see my sisters and to be in the circle with them again. It is always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, sister. Before y'all go, Lady P
Yeah.
has some music. And I want to share her music. If that's okay with you ladies.
That's fine. Oh,
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Look at me.
I need something to soothe this knees hurt.
Okay. So let's get right into it. While we let's just take a 60-second break from that heaviness.
Okay.
And we're going to come back and we're going to get right into Lady P's wonderful. I'm a fan of hers, so we'll be back in 60 seconds. Back.
Okay.
We are here with Lady P, Lady Unk, Shep Sari, and we are closing out the show, and we're gonna close out on a good note with Lady P's music. Like I said, I'm a big fan of hers. I met her at Harlem, at showcases, and I'm going to share my screen. I couldn't upload her. The file was too big for me to upload it onto the podcast. So I'm going to share my screen. I got it on YouTube. So make sure y'all follow her. Please tell them where you can be found while I share my screen and get everything going.
I can be found on Instagram, Lady P49. I could be found on Facebook, Patricia Lady P Niles Barker. And my music is everywhere. YouTube would be Lady P38. My music is everywhere. Apple Music, iTunes, Snapchat, Facebook,
Are you on
TikTok,
Spotify?
Spotify. Yes, Deezer, Tidal. Excuse me. I always said that wrong. Tidal. It's everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay. I will follow.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could do SEO smarter and faster? With Wix, you can edit your meta tags page by page.
I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to move on so I can see tomorrow. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm just trying to move on so I can see tomorrow. I'm saying YOLO, I do this solo. You might be looking in my face and you would not know. be a good wife, mother, and friend. I'm really in hell. Sometimes I'm not well. Someday my body's aching bad and my feet swell. But guess what? I still wanna live. Cause all this love I have inside I wanna give. Cause we all are dying. Another day isn't promised, but we're trying. Cause we all are dying. Although I'm not giving up, I'm surviving. Yeah, I'm just trying to be alive. I'm just trying to move on. So I can see tomorrow. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm just trying to move on. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to stay alive.
All right. So that one is called Surviving. Now, this one I love also because this one is called The Time Is Now. That's the one you sent me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Lady P?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How is she spelling her
Can
name
y'all hear it? Can y'all see
on
it?
YouTube?
Yeah, I see Survivor. You said
Lady
how I spell
P.
my name?
LADYPEA.
Okay.
I think we all can have a testimony, but we
Internet is. I'm gonna go on YouTube, and then I'm gonna look on Spotify. I have an account there, and I can add her
Okay.
songs and download them. I can put it on a favorites list and listen to everything.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Because it's so hard to listen to it like this.
Yeah.
And then we have a storm coming here, so you know how it is in Texas. So you might not have no
Oh.
lights.
Oh wow.
Seems like we're the only one that's active right now.
Oh wow.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
Sister Unc, she seems like she's blacked out. Etoy, she's frozen.
Oh,
Here
there
they
they
go.
come. Here they come.
I think I hear my granddaughter coming. I'll just put on clothes just so I can take pictures with her. I hear somebody. Let me go to the other window. The last time I saw you, sister, it was the other knee I had done. Remember when I came to Ascension, I had a cane? You can't hear me. Is that them?
Oh,
thank you so much, Lady P.
oh, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. For letting me, you know, open up a little bit. Cause like I told you, I don't tell people. I rather help people because, like I said, the reason why I said no one cares because everybody's worried about me helping them and not how I'm doing and how I'm feeling or could get a word in edgewise. You understand? So I
Mhm.
didn't mean it you per se, but I see and I felt everything, and I appreciate everyone. Blessings to y'all.
You're welcome.
Yes, thanks.
Blessings to you.
Ashe,
Yeah, this is my
Ashe,
grandbaby. She
Ashe,
coming up from
Ashe.
upstairs.
So I just want to say thank you so kindly for everyone coming on. This was another beautiful episode. We came and we showed out and we showed support for Lady P because we are our sister's keeper. What
Yeah.
we did learn, coming through the food rites of passage, we need a I snap ahead. We have to have somebody to come through the mud with us. We need that
Always.
support. When I'm not good, you're
Always.
not good. When you're not good, I'm not good. We need each other. Instead of us
Yes,
being,
ma'am.
crabs in a barrel, we have to get out of that mentality. So I just wanted to show you, because this sisterhood here, I love them, just to be able to express, and there's no judgment and there's support, and to be able to pull you up and say, "Come on, sister, you got this. You're gonna be all right." And to be able to pour into you, and you just not pouring into everybody else. Everybody's cup is being filled because we speak the same language, and you're not being drained. So I just wanted to show you. I know
Hi,
you know how
beautiful.
to tell your story. I'm gonna mute you, Sanefa, Monica.
Okay. 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 That's fine. Hi.
I just wanted to show you what it is to be in community. And I want to say thank you to everyone that came on the podcast. I could not have done this without y'all. That's what I mean about community. I couldn't have done it. This podcast would not have been the way it was. This episode without y'all. So I just want to say thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much, Lady Peep. And the reason why I wanted you to tell your story is because do you know how many people how many women and people, men too, that's going through the same thing that you're going through? You are an inspiration to someone. Someone is going to see this episode and say, if she can do it, so can I. And
It's true.
someone's
I
also
try.
going to be inspired to tell their story and to get within community and be inspired to tell their story. Because even me, I didn't want to tell my story because I was ashamed, and I always felt that people was going to look down on me because I'm the strong one. Everyone comes to me. But guess what, Lady P? The healer needs healing also. Always remember that. Thank you
Yes,
to
ma'am.
everyone, all of the comments. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. I just want to say thank you so kindly. It would not have been a episode without y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna be contacting everyone after this episode. Lady P, is there anything that you want to say? Because this was your show today.
Um, I'm just
Before
grateful.
we close out,
I'm just grateful for being able to share my story. Well, some of my story, but which I have is fine. And I thank you for all the feedback and the positive feedback, and for y'all being here as well. Um, I felt like family. You know what I mean? Like family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's all that I needed. And Itoya, humbly thank you, and I'm grateful for you even meeting you and having me on your show. And you know, you gave me the strength to do this because I never would have. I have to
now
thank
it's time for
everybody.
you. Now it's time for you to continue this. Don't let it stop here. Continue. Everything that everyone poured into you, let that soak in and do the work. We are here for you. We know we can't get too deep into everything because this is broadcasted, but we're here for you behind the scenes when we can get really deep into the work. When it's going to be multiple tears, and when we just gotta hug each other, and hug it out, and cry together, and do the work
Right.
together. Trust me, there is a whole community We all going to touch base, and if it's possible, Lady Ankh, 'cause Lady Ankh is powerful. Um, Sacred Woman Providencia, Sacred Woman Practitioner is Sacred Woman Practitioner Providencia is powerful. Shep Sari is powerful. You are coming into the community with some powerful sisters. So I just want to welcome you and congratulate
Thank you.
you on your new journey.
Thank you so much.
So, sisters, I will be texting you in about 10 minutes to give you my thanks and my gratitude because I appreciate y'all. Thank you for holding this space for an hour and 47 minutes. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all.
Love you too.
I
Thanks for
say
having us, sis.
You.
thank you. Love you more.
Mhm.
So, if you're still here with us, thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, that was some show. I couldn't have done that without my sacred sisters. I had a interview with Lady P. I gave her some homework. We done some a little snippet of healing, but I knew what she needed. She needed community. She needed that sister hug. She needed that spiritual hug, and it's to my hope that she received that. And that's what we need. I had a episode about community. Um, we need that, especially in this time of this, that we're living in. We need each other instead of having the Willie Lynch concept, the Willie Lynch mind frame, you know, that has been passed down from generations. If someone driving this, we won't be bothered with them because they don't have that whole lot of materialistic things. If you're older, and then you won't be bothered with the younger ones. If you're younger, you won't be bothered with the older ones. It's just that all stemmed from back from the Willie Lynch concept, and that's what has been keeping our people divided for so long, and that's why we're able to be conquered. But I said before, I'm going to create my own think tank. I'm going to create my own community, and with the grace of the Most High, hopefully it'll come into fruition. So with that being said, I'm going to ask: have you done anything for yourself today? Have you did anything for you today? We get. I know Lady P has because I gave her homework too. We get up every day and we live this life, this fast life, having to go to work. If we have family, you got to take care of our family. You got to pay bills. If you have animals, you got to take care of them. And we get so caught up in life that sometimes we don't sit and just enjoy us. And I'm a true testimony to that. That's why I asked that. Have you done anything for yourself today? And if you haven't, I challenge you. I challenge you before the night is over to do something for you. It could be something so small. Taking a hot bath, reading a book. If somebody call you and ask you, can they do something? Say no. That's something for you. So I want to give a shout out to all the people that has helped me in my lifetime. Because we talking about community, right? I want to say thank y'all. If y'all still watching, thank you. If you're going to watch and you're going to tune in later, thank you. I appreciate y'all, every last one of you, so much. I couldn't have done it without you. So I just want to say thank you. Before we go, I know it ran over a little bit long, but I just want to give a shout out to Latif from Man Up. He's having a job fair May 30th. He's trying to hire at least 1,000 people before the summertime because he goes on a summer break. and he's good at what he does. I've known Latif for many years, and we just so happened to bump back into each other right before my uncle had passed away. He's a man about his word. Go see him at 876 Skank Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11207, May 30th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Man Up. All right. So we out of here, and I want to say thank you again for tuning in. I be trying to go an hour, but it always go over. The conversation be so good, I don't want to stop it. So I want to say thank you again, and tune in next week. We're going to have Queen Liberace. She's going to be in, and she's going to talk about how she almost committed suicide. Now, she is also a poet, and she has a beautiful, powerful voice. This woman blowing me away, and her poetry is so dope. So tune in next week, because we're going to dive deep into her conversation. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for staying with me this long. Take care. Peace.